Today, we are going to reflect on a question that humanity has carried for generations. Why does this world feel so broken? Why do people long so deeply for peace, for justice, for permanence, yet continue to encounter suffering, fear, division, and loss? But what if the scriptures reveal far more about the human condition than many people realize? What if humanity's exhaustion, search for peace, its longing for restoration, all point toward something much deeper? Stay with me until the end, because what the Bible reveals about humanity, the condition of the world, and the future of creation is both profound and deeply hopeful. And if these reflections help strengthen your faith and understanding, consider subscribing and becoming part of this journey with us. Part 1. There is something deeply unsettling about the world we live in. No matter how much humanity advances, suffering remains, violence remains, fear remains, division remains, death remains. Entire generations have searched for peace. Yet the human condition continues to carry pain, grief, and unrest. Wars continue. Injustice continues. Families break apart. Hearts grow weary. And despite all human efforts, suffering remains woven into the human experience. The world often feels caught between beauty and brokenness. And the scriptures reveal that this tension is not accidental. The Bible teaches that the suffering and corruption humanity experiences today were not part of the Creator's intention for the earth. Jesus spoke of the existence of deception and evil from the beginning, not as something originating from God, but as a corruption that entered creation through rebellion. The book of Genesis describes humanity's fall away from God, and from that moment, something changed within the human condition itself. Fear entered, shame entered, conflict entered. The harmony that once existed between humanity, creation, and God became fractured. Humanity became separated from the fullness of life it was created to experience. And creation itself began to suffer under corruption. The violence, hatred, greed, oppression, and destruction seen throughout human history all point to a world no longer functioning in complete alignment with its original purpose. And perhaps what is even more heartbreaking is that these same patterns can sometimes appear even among those who sincerely believe they are walking with God. Scripture reminds us that spiritual deception does not only operate openly within the world, but can also quietly distort the hearts, perceptions, and attitudes of people who pray, worship, and profess faith. At times, people may become so influenced by fear, pride, division, bitterness, or spiritual confusion that they gradually lose sight of the very character of Christ they are called to reflect. Instead of revealing the fruits of the Spirit, love, peace, patience, kindness, humility, gentleness, and self-control, the human heart can still struggle with the same tensions and brokenness present throughout the world. And this is why discernment matters so deeply. Because not everything that appears spiritual truly reflects the heart of Christ. This reality reminds us how deeply humanity needs transformation, not only outwardly but inwardly. Humanity does not simply need external change. Humanity needs restoration. Part 2. The story of Scripture does not end with humanity's brokenness. In the midst of corruption and suffering, God revealed a promise. Yet even in the midst of humanity's fall, the Scriptures reveal something extraordinary. From the very beginning, a promise was spoken. A promise that evil would not reign forever. Throughout the Bible, one message appears again and again: restoration. The prophets repeatedly spoke of a future where suffering would no longer dominate human existence. What comes next is a promise that reveals the heart of God toward humanity. Isaiah declared, "Behold, I create new heavens and a new earth." These words reveal something profound about the heart of God. The Bible does not present suffering as humanity's final destiny. Again and again, Scripture points toward renewal, toward healing, toward restoration. The Apostle Peter spoke of new heavens and a new earth in which righteousness dwells. And in Revelation, John describes a renewed creation where the former things have passed away. A world no longer governed by corruption, violence, fear, and death. A world restored. And if this reflection resonates with your spirit so far, take a moment to like this video and share it with someone who may need hope, peace, or encouragement today. Not simply to support the channel, but because these truths deserve to continue reaching hearts that are searching for peace, understanding, and restoration in a broken world. Part 3. This promise points toward something far greater than temporary relief. It points toward the complete restoration of creation itself. The Scriptures describe a future where tears are no longer the language of humanity, where sorrow no longer consumes the human heart, where fear no longer governs human existence, and where creation itself is restored into peace and harmony. This promise appears throughout the prophetic writings in Isaiah. The prophets describe a time when the wolf dwells with the lamb, when a child plays near the serpent without harm, and where nothing hurts nor destroys, in God's holy mountain. They point toward the reversal of corruption itself. Creation healed from violence, a humanity no longer ruled by fear, a world restored into alignment with God's original purpose. And perhaps this is why these promises resonate so deeply within the human heart. Because deep within humanity exists the awareness that we were made for more than endless suffering. The longing for peace, the longing for justice, the longing for love, safety, and permanence, all point toward something humanity has lost, and something God promises to restore. The story of Scripture is a story of redemption, a story of restoration, a story moving steadily toward the renewal of creation itself. And throughout all these promises, one truth remains constant. God has never forgotten humanity, even in a world marked by suffering. His purpose continues moving toward fulfillment. One day, suffering will not define human existence forever. One day, evil will not reign forever. And the peace humanity has searched for across generations will finally be fully restored under the reign of God.